Imagine waking up in the middle of the night to the sound of your entire house shaking. The walls begin to crack, the lights go out, people start screaming. Within seconds, buildings that had stood for decades collapse into piles of concrete and steel. Families become trapped, roads split apart, hospitals overflow. Thousands of people suddenly find themselves with nowhere to go. This is not a movie. This is exactly what millions of Venezuelans have experienced over the past few days. For years, Venezuela has been known around the world because of its political crisis, economic collapse, and one of the largest migration waves in modern history. But now, the country is facing yet another disaster, one that has shocked not only South America, but the entire world. Twin earthquakes have devastated parts of the country. Rescue teams are racing against time. Aftershocks continue to terrify survivors, and humanitarian organizations warn that millions of people could now need emergency assistance. Today, we are taking a deep dive into what is really happening in Venezuela, why this disaster is different, how the country got here, and what could happen next. Stay with me until the end because this story is far bigger than an earthquake. It is about an entire nation fighting to survive. On June 24, Venezuela was struck by two massive earthquakes, only seconds apart. The first measured about 7.2 in magnitude. Then, less than a minute later, a second and even stronger earthquake around 7.5 magnitude hit. The two earthquakes unleashed enormous destructive energy across North Venezuela, with severe damage reported in coastal communities and parts of Caracas. People described hearing what sounded like an explosion before the ground violently moved beneath them. Buildings swayed, apartment blocks collapsed, bridges cracked, electricity disappeared across several areas, communication networks were disrupted. For many families, there wasn't even enough time to escape. Within minutes, rescue workers, firefighters, volunteers, and ordinary citizens began digging through piles of concrete with their bare hands. The numbers continue to change as rescue operations continue. Authorities say well over 1,000 people have lost their lives. Thousands more have been injured. Entire neighborhoods have been destroyed. Many families still do not know where their loved ones are. Some remain trapped beneath collapsed buildings, while rescue teams continue searching day and night. The heartbreaking reality is that every passing hour reduces the chances of finding survivors alive. Yet miracles continue to happen. Several people have been rescued after spending days trapped beneath the rubble, giving hope to families still waiting for good news. As if the original disaster wasn't enough, powerful aftershocks continue to shake the country. Each new tremor sends thousands of frightened residents running into open spaces. Many refuse to return inside damaged buildings because they fear another collapse. Schools remain closed in affected areas. Businesses cannot reopen. Hospitals are operating under enormous pressure. Some rescue missions have even been temporarily suspended whenever aftershocks strike because it becomes too dangerous for emergency workers. Many viewers are asking important questions. Why did this earthquake cause so much destruction? Experts say there are several factors. First, some affected communities sit on unstable coastal soil that amplifies earthquake shaking. Second, many buildings were never designed to withstand earthquakes of this magnitude. Years of economic hardship have also meant that maintenance, inspections, and infrastructure upgrades have been often delayed. Structural engineers are now calling for nationwide safety inspections as concerns grow over thousands of additional buildings that may have been weakened. Emergency workers are working around the clock. Search dogs, heavy machinery, military helicopters, medical volunteers, international rescue specialists, all are trying to reach people trapped beneath collapsed buildings. Several countries and international organizations have sent emergency teams, medical supplies, food, clean water, and temporary shelters. Hundreds of tons of humanitarian aid have already arrived, but officials say much more assistance will be needed in the coming weeks. Unfortunately, responding to this disaster isn't as simple as sending food and medicine. For years, Venezuela has struggled with economic sanctions, financial restrictions, political divisions, and damaged infrastructure. Aid organizations say these long-standing challenges can slow the delivery of life-saving assistance. Some humanitarian groups have urged governments to ensure that emergency relief reaches civilians as quickly as possible regardless of political disagreements. One of the most heartbreaking parts of this tragedy involves children. Many have lost their homes. Others lost their parents or relatives. Schools have been damaged or converted into emergency shelters. UNICEF estimates that hundreds of thousands of children may now require humanitarian assistance, including food, clean water, healthcare, and psychological support. This earthquake did not happen in a country enjoying economic stability. For years, Venezuela has experienced inflation, shortages, declining public services, and one of the largest migration crises in the world. Millions of Venezuelans have left the country over the past decade, searching for better opportunities elsewhere. Now, this natural disaster is placing even greater strain on communities that were already struggling before the earthquake struck. Even in moments like this, extraordinary acts of courage continue to emerge. Neighbors digging through rubble without waiting for rescue crews. Doctors working non-stop despite exhaustion. Volunteers sharing food with complete strangers. Parents risking their own lives to protect their children. International rescue teams working alongside Venezuelan responders. These stories remind us that humanity often shines brightest during these darkest moments. The emergency rescue phase is only the beginning. After that comes rebuilding. Homes, schools, roads, hospitals, water systems, electricity networks. Entire communities may need months or even years to recover. Experts say that reconstruction will require enormous financial resources, careful planning, and continued international cooperation. This disaster is no longer just Venezuelans' problem. Countries across the region are monitoring the humanitarian situation closely. Aid agencies continue mobilizing support. International governments have announced assistance packages, while relief organizations coordinate emergency deliveries. The coming weeks will determine how quickly survivors receive the help they desperately need. Venezuela has endured years of political uncertainty, economic hardship, and social challenges. Now it faces one of the deadliest natural disasters in recent history. Thousands of families have lost loved ones. Entire neighborhoods have disappeared. Rescue workers continue searching for survivors, and millions of people are hoping that tomorrow will bring better news than today. Whether you live in South America, Africa, Europe, Asia, or anywhere else in the world, stories like this remind us that disasters do not recognize borders. Behind every headline is a family, a child, a parent, a friend, a community trying to rebuild what was lost. We will continue following developments as rescue operations progress and more information becomes available. If you found this video informative, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss out on our in-depth coverage of important global events. Thank you for watching, stay safe, and I will see you in the next video.